Good day to you, my fellow endoskeletons. I'm Kenetor and welcome back for another Starbase progress report. We're on week 6 of 2021, and if you're new here, I bring you the latest news and updates of everything Starbase every Monday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out. Now let's get to it. This week's changes in closed alpha with the long-awaited small buttons, and as an added bonus, these also light up as indicator lights as well. Ships can now be decommissioned and abandoned, and this has made a lot of people very happy who had destroyed ships in their list and unable to sell or remove them. Previously, the only way was to bother a community manager to delete them from your character. A mail system was added to send messages in-game to people you're not near, and can include credits as well. And rail cannons saw a nerf to their power upkeep, and several changes were made to some material armor values. Diving into our Lowry quotes of the week, we have a massive info drop once again, so get comfy. Since people keep asking, I'll keep saying, early access is still planned for Q1 this year. And our first Lowry quote once again confirms this. He also reiterates that the game will still be in an alpha state during this launch, and we will find out in 6 weeks if it all goes to plan. 6 weeks is of course how long is left of this first quarter. Lowry also says they won't call a feature incomplete game a beta, so it looks like we're going to be in alpha for quite some time yet. Lowry updates us on the ship decals, and they are missing one quality of life scale feature and a building budget. The other stuff is done and sounds like this feature should drop very soon. When it does, this first version will be in the ship designer with the handheld tool coming later. Lowry says placing them will be completely freeform with free rotate and free scale, but they will not bend over surfaces. But we could get around this by using multiple decals. Lowry says that while all decals are presets, it includes stuff that we can use creatively and they can be stacked. This will let us create unique shapes and styles. He also warns us it's possible QA will test them a bit and find some sort of nasty bug that will set them back a few weeks. But my bet is we might see them in this week's patch. And ship shops will see a huge surge in redesigns and reworks as everyone adds them to their ships. Lowry also touched on the future of safe zones. When rules for them get implemented, it will allow the safe zone owner to control access to the entire safe zone, and that he would deal with them by removing protection from those he doesn't like and just shoot them, like the cold-blooded murderer he is. Let this be a warning to all, don't mess with the Emperor or his stations. Although he does also say that it's not yet decided to allow non-protected people to enter the safe zone area at all, and it could end up be that they are just blocked from entering. Lowry also adds that siege mechanics won't have any issues with safe zone abuse, but we'll have to wait and see when this all gets a proper introduction video from Frozenbyte for the details. Sticking with stations for our next quote as well, Lowry finally realised solar would be better to do first. Stations are getting a lot of love and solar is one of the features coming. A lot of us had expected solar much quicker than this, given we had the large 3D printer which needs 1 million energy per second. Apparently it's progressing well and is indeed awesome. The panels take into account shadows, belt density and the sun angle towards the panel. This is great to hear and means we'll have to think about panel placement on our stations. Lowry explains the belt doesn't have a massive impact, but it's there, with being under the belt being much worse than being in the middle of it, and does so by calculating the belt depth between the panel and the sun. For shadows, which I've mentioned in previous quotes having a very long range, are capable of blocking people's solar panels. Lowry says there's no stats or materials have been decided yet, but probably won't have armor. He also confirmed something some people have wanted for a while now. With current tech, it suggests that it's possible to mount these panels on ships for passive power generation. The panels should be easy to build too, with not much material as they are flat panels with some connections and supports. For now though, while the tech works, it needs finalization, and there's still quite a lot of other work remaining. He finishes with a reminder that solar panels are mainly for stations, and the possibility of having these ship mounted is just a bonus. And saving the best for last, Lowry gives us some size info on the upcoming modular plasma thruster, with it being 540 centimeters on its short sides and a minimum length of 708 centimeters. This is just massive by itself, and apparently because it's modular can be made the length of the SSC. This will be extendable with parts 288 centimeters long, and these extensions add more power to the thruster. This new thruster will be broken up into smaller endo-carryable parts, just like the new reconstruction machine, and its designer Vil also reiterates that it will not allow for ships to go faster than 150 meters a second, which is the game's speed limit for ships. What it will have is superior raw stats compared to the other thrusters. and Larry states these larger devices will allow for more optimized ships, which will eventually help raise the ship's limits so we can have bigger ships. Now onto the progress report. The main design features worked on last week were: ship diagnostic and material point scanner designs have been finished, transponder, safe zone and game rule features, device fields that inform the current area rules have been tested and are now in alpha, economy design for central bank features has been worked on, and thruster balance adjustments and testing have been worked on. New resource consumption values have been adjusted. In station design, we have resource bridges with missing host modes which enable players to use them simultaneously have been fixed on the origin station. Walkway gaps have been fixed in a few grid slots. The station design issue which caused grid slots to not snap properly has been fixed, but there's still some issues with the 45-degree corner modules, but these are being looked at. Chimosh Ship Shop has been finished and added to Origin and Robo stations, and Okim 3 Ship Shop has been created and also added to Origin and Robo stations. I can't wait to see all the new ships that we have available. Now onto the gameplay updates. Auto bolting now detects welds and existing connections. Under the hood, preparations for the new ship thruster has been made. Player interaction with tripod weapons has been implemented, including locking player in place, aiming, turning the weapon and sinking. Shooting functionality for new tripod weapons has been started on, and a new audio signal device system has been worked on as well. For this week's UI updates, we have Missions UI has been worked on. Logs of completed missions and receiving and accepting invitations to them have been designed. Ship's UI design has been updated, placeholders removed and UI was released in alpha. Work on adding search and filter options to the inbox UI has been started. New UI for CV bank statement has been completed, and preliminary UI for company bank statement has been completed as well. In animation this week, we have work on melee animations continues. Rocket launcher now has unique prone animations. Prone melee animations have been worked on, and work on down death animation has been started. We have just one station R update this week, with work on skyscraper roof module 2 interior has started. And lastly, other updates this week are changes to the reconstruction machine were made. It now doesn't look like you can stuff endo kits under the monitor. A material point scanner asset has been created. Hologram placement in Imperial Capital Station's red ore towers has been fixed, and all endo hit VFX have been consolidated for better future management and increased visual flexibility. There's no feature video this week, but if you do get into closed alpha already are, be sure to send any funny or awesome clips my way for a chance to be featured on the channel. Feel free to contact me via Discord or come jump on my Discord server, which is also home to my faction, the K-Bots, should you be looking for one to join. As always, please smash that like button, share the video with your friends and faction, leave a comment with any questions you want answers to, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenetor, out.